New merch, honestly, it doesn't really match all that much. I'm not even gonna lie to you. We'll be back in the routine. Sunday run with the boys. Tech sales hacks. Burton. Let's get it. It's hot as hell out here.
I don't run enough for me to.
Sean.
Yo.
Burton, tech sales refugee.
Yeah, tech sales quitter, man.
Post run. How many did you do? 4?
DNF, man. It's just hot.
DNF the Austin 6.5.
We got the electrolytes on deck. We are back, man. Never been so glad to be back. Does it look like we're back? I don't know if she watches these, but shout out Mandy, man. I have one person who works with me on the Because of Sales stuff. Her name is Mandy. She does a lot. I'm about to go foot on the pedal with Because of Sales. I did it for the community. We scaled it back up. Want to maintain that. Now, foot on the pedal for Because of Sales. I'll show you guys in a sec, but I'm about to make this happen. Called my shot with the community. I told you we'd get to 100K a month. We did. Now we're going to cook on Because of Sales. My absolute favorite thing in the world happened to this clip. The audio got deleted, but here's how I'm going to scale Because of Sales. We don't make money now. We want to make money. 1, Facebook ads to acquire subscribers. 2, Reels, social content. I need to hire and I need ROI on that. Then I need to start selling more sponsorships, which I should have time for. I need to keep learning, finishing materials. And then we need to launch a low ticket product so we can scale more profitably, so we can scale faster and start making money. All right, I got a community live call to jump into in 2 minutes, but I'm starting this early to show you this of our hiring channel. In the last 6 hours, there are 38 jobs posted. Setting, closing, beginner, not beginner. There is no shortage of sales reps needed in the high ticket space. If you want to sell for coaches, consultants, agency owners, masterminds, boot camps, services, communities, software companies, they sell things around hobbies, interests, jobs, functions of a business, B2C or B2B. Literally anything under the sun can be an offer that needs sales reps, and we have no shortage of those. Anyways, just want to show you 6 hours, 38 jobs. It's kind of freaking insane. But another thing I want to show you is in this live call, I'm going to take it right here. We have a guy that I was talking to in the DMs who accepted a brand new closing role with a brand new team, and I told him you probably shouldn't do that, and I'm going to explain to him why in this live call, and I want you guys to hear it. He basically found a job through somebody who is affiliated with the community. I don't know if he didn't really get the background on it, but this is the stuff we try to avoid. We want to kind of walk through him with that. He's a little bit concerned if anything is messed up, and we're just going to walk him through.
Recording in progress.
No, you should absolutely be able to feel confident in what you sell. I'm never a proponent of, selling shit that doesn't make you sleep well at night. There's always good and bad players in every market. There's no shortage of opportunity to sell something that you guys are not only just interested in, but also you feel good about. You should have no problem finding something that you feel good about selling. Some companies might not be as open and transparent about just sending you all the stuff, but if they're just completely opposed to backing up anything they say with real proof, that's just a red flag, man. You're gonna just save yourself some time by probably not accepting that, unless you know somebody that's already there, someone in the community, someone in this space that's yeah, dude, I am there right now and I'm making X amount. Did you want to talk about any other details around the role? I'm kind of curious about the process you went through to get an offer and then accept, kind of what research or whatever you had done.
Yeah, it was pretty, I was actually surprised just because, I kind of went backwards and I just straight up cold called him, and then, he's like, how'd you get this number? He was all surprised or whatever too. And then he called me back an hour later, and then he just he basically gave me the job with very little hesitation, and he didn't really vet me, honestly. He didn't really press me hard at all. So that was kind of weird, I thought too. But I think, he's been pretty responsive so far with questions I've had and to get me what I need to, see if this is actually legit. So yeah. I'm feeling better about it now, even since we spoke.
If I remember right, it's you're kind of in a pretty good position to play some offense, right? It's if this one doesn't work out, you're not going to be, homeless on the street or anything.
Yeah.
I similar to what I just told Ryan, dude, if the guy seems stand up and, everything's checking out besides the fact that it's just a brand new offer, just feel it out, like go 1 week at a time. But you have to make sure, like this is one of the biggest flaws of people in this space. They get like invested in the business when they're not making money. And that's like, as a contractor, it's a no-go. If you show up and you do everything, what you might be able to do if it's not working as fast as you want is just negotiate base pay. And if they're opposed to that, well, honestly, like negotiating base pay with a business that doesn't really have revenue is kind of difficult. But I don't know this guy. I don't know if he sold another business. What was the service again?
It's a lead generation for contractors.
Yeah, so I don't know if he has a contracting business and this is the system that he used, but I would just feel it out, like keep us posted with what's going on in these calls or DM me, and then give it your all. So that way, if you're faced with a position to have to ask for like base pay or ask to change the terms of the deal, like you got that in your favor. Otherwise, I wouldn't sweat too hard.
I think that's exactly it too. I mean, what he came up with this AI integration as far as lead generation and everything, it was a byproduct of something that was asked for him for, a particular niche.
Yeah.
That's kind of where that comes from. There's like 6 founders and they're all like co-owners and I think a pretty big marketing agency. So they do have experience in that. So that's kind of good to see. But then, like you said, like what do I have to lose? Like if I give this a month, what they're doing seems pretty cool. And if they can actually execute on it, I think it could be huge. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, dude, we're not talking about anything that's just like never been done before, right? Like this marketing agency lead generation model, there's a lot of people that make a lot of money doing that, So as long as you have some confidence in the founders and you know that, hey, look, I'm probably not going to make 10K in my first month here. I mean, at minimum, you're getting experience that's going to make your next job easier. And that being said, dude, I wouldn't even give it a full month before you kind of like step back and evaluate. I'd give it like week and a half, 2 weeks. Try to stack the leverage on your side so you can get favorable terms. But yeah, I wouldn't stay on a sinking ship. I mean, you guys all know the stats about businesses. They start it because they have so much conviction, but like how many businesses actually pan out? Just want to make sure you're not like committing to something that's not going to serve you the way you're hoping. The shitty part about the commission-based space is like, depending on how they're getting their leads, they will literally have you on for until you say you're done because they don't lose anything. Now they might lose if they're paying to generate leads, but if they're doing like pretty cheap like cold email or organic content or whatever, and they're just feeding you calls, like they have everything to gain and nothing to lose. So you gotta make sure they have some skin in the game, whether it's like a base pay with you or they're spending on ads like a good amount. So that way if things break, they don't just sit there and like forget about it. It actually hurts them. Yeah, just keep me posted, dude. I have a podcast to record in less than 10 minutes. I want to tell you guys a few things. First and foremost, great gorilla mind, goated. Second thing, I'm about to pick up a $6,000 per month commitment to scale because of sales. If you don't know what that is my big play, my media play newsletter for sales reps. That is going to be hiring someone on and paying for paid ads to really scale our newsletter. Big commitment. I've made commitments like this in the past, and why I'm doing it, this guy used to run paid growth for Morning Brew and some other very, very large newsletter email businesses. So worth a try. Third thing, here's a quick equation for you. We had someone come into the community, 15 days, 7 applications, 2 interviews, 1 job offer, and this stand sucks. For a 5 to 7K per month OTE role, some sales background, not really. Not only did we do that for him, but Tyler, next day. You're selling cars, got a job on a real estate offer, appointment setting. It's what we do. If you haven't seen the last video that I posted, talking about the low-hanging fruit method, that's basically the presentation that I gave at our meetup. I put a lot of time into that, maybe the most prep that I've ever put into a video. Go watch that right now. It's the video directly before this with the guy throwing up the money in the thumbnail.
Paul, what are we doing here?
I don't know, what do I want to say? This is the beautiful culmination of ideas meets reality with people knowing people. So people know people, some of them have cars, some of them have wine, and some of them have a house. So really, when you put the lime in the coconut,
We get this.
we shake it all up. Yeah.
Sick of that.
So that's what we're doing. Not bad.
My bad.
You had a text close on the way here?
I did have a text close on the way here. I just onboarded onto a new offer. It's my first week of live calls. Taken maybe 3. I've taken 3 live calls so far. Closed 3 deals. One of them was a pipeline deal though, it doesn't count. This deal that came in today, deposit close. I'm a deposit close demon. It's starting to seem $300. Dude texted me, said, hey man, here's $3,000. I take my 10% of that. And then I showed up and I bought this Lamborghini.
I got you on the thumbnail right here.
Big bank, take little bank.
Yeah, that's the life.
Sell dishwashers.
Dude, 12.3K a week, 43K in 3.5 months. Can't make that up. Happy Friday. We love to see it. If you guys are curious what metrics we track, sales metrics, this is what it looks like. Scheduled, canceled, no-show, first calls. I'm not reading all this, but these numbers are really strong. You see close rate on first calls that show is 57%, and then on offers made is 73%. Blocked out revenue, cash, all that, but cash collected rate is above 90%. Like, if you guys need help with funnel metrics, let me know. That's what I used to do. Also, I don't know if you guys could see, we got that boy back there, Cam, community member taking calls. Had a couple closes this week. I don't know if I told you guys in the video where I said I'm hiring someone. If you're a creative type and you know sales, hit me up, because the next hire might be creative director type, specifically editing, social media, stuff like that. I'm sitting here about to go edit, but sitting here thinking, how do I tie this video together? And this is how I'm gonna do it. You need to start making more uncertain decisions. Uncertain decisions lead to outsized outcomes. Normal people stay normal because they make decisions with absolutely no risk. And if you think about it, anything that is truly worth having monetarily, lifestyle-wise, relationship-wise, there is a certain point where you just have to commit no matter what. And as someone who is afraid to commit in an irreversible way, or was previously that, I can say that once I started taking more calculated risks, making more uncertain decisions, my life exponentially improved. I honestly didn't give it as much attention as I should have, but the post I shared of Jake Skinner having a 12.3K week in high ticket sales, I remember meeting with him back in the day, like maybe 2 years ago, where he was managing a call center. If I had to guess, he's making 6, 7, 8K a month. He was doing good. He took a risk to go into commission only sales, and he was in St. Louis, and then he took a risk to move to New York City to live in his dream environment. He knew it was more expensive. That was like 8 months ago. Had the interview with him in the community member playlist. But now he took another risk, maybe a new offer. Boom, 12.3K a week. Think about that. 12.3K, dude, that's like a quarter worth of rent. Maybe 6 months worth of rent that he made in 1 week in high ticket sales because he took a risk that set him up to take another risk, calculated risk. I heard it somewhere, and I feel like I've talked about it on the YouTube channel before, but like, a leader is not assessed on the decisions that they make when they have 100% information. They are graded by the decisions that they make when they have 70% information. And that is what it means to be a good leader, is to lead through uncertainty. If it were certain, everyone would do it. Everybody would have it. What I mentioned earlier, I just hired ex-head of growth of like one of the most successful newsletters. Is there a guarantee on the service? No. It's a month-to-month commitment. There's no guarantee that it works. So I'm gonna spend $6,000 a month to hope that it works. $6,000 a month from a business that is already not making profit. It's actually losing me money. Good tax write-off. Yeah, I'm just gonna put it on the line, because after doing all the mathematics in my head, it is more likely that I get closer to where I wanna be if I work with this guy than if I don't, even though I'm gonna spend $6,000 a month. So some of you guys watching this, you might be trying to land a sales job. You might be trying to start an online business. And maybe, quitting your job is something you're afraid of. It's a scary thing. In my opinion, I want to assess, and what's served me. Dude, I quit a high paying job when I got into this space too. I assessed all the likely outcomes, and when more of the likely outcomes involve me taking the risk, then I take the risk and I try to mitigate any downside of that risk. Not all of them work out. I've spent a lot of money trying a lot of different things. One of the biggest flops, I basically sunk 40K into this agency, but now I know. I learned so much from that. I learned people I want to hire, how that relationship needs to work, who I should hire for what works for my offer. I learned so much from that. But what if it worked? What if that was what got me to the next level? I never would have known if I wouldn't have tried. So for you watching this, my call to action, whatever it is that you've been on the fence with, you've been thinking about it, and in your mind, when you project out the probabilities, you know that this thing is something you need to do. You know that you've been thinking about it for weeks, months, hopefully not years. I want you to commit to it, and I want you to see what happens. And when you commit, actually commit. Work at it like it's your plan A and you don't have a plan B, because that's going to give you the best chance at having this work. So for you sales reps, quit the job. Do so in a smart way. For you business owners, quit the job. Hire that employee. Also, the downside that you're hyper fixating on, the potential downside, is usually not as bad as you think. You can go get the job back. You can go work for a competitor. You can make money back. Money comes back. But if you really want to get to the next level, you probably need to take more risk. I probably need to take more risk. And if you look at the success stories of all the biggest people in the info, marketing, sales space, or, you know, just business space, Elon, Jeff Bezos, dude, they took insane amounts of risk. And they took risk with other companies that are no longer here, but look where they're at now, because they kept trying, they kept betting on outsized returns. You can fail so many times over and still be ahead. And that's why this is beautiful. With sales, with business, my CTA for you, take that risk. The one you've been pushing off. The downside is probably not as bad as you think it is, and the upside is probably better. And that's this video. Thank you guys for watching. Every Thursday, educational, informational, help you land remote sales jobs. Every Sunday, behind the scenes like this. And we're back in the flow, man. Q4 lock-in. We'll see you next week.